Peace, something we are all seeking and yearning for. Peace, something we were once indigenous to. Peace, something we have lost along our way. Our way to obtaining knowledge of self. The knowledge of our ancestors who were removed from their natural state. The knowledge of our people who refuse to be oppressed. In our journey, we lost our grip on peace. In a society of pressure, stress, and traumas, we have become comfortable with holding on to the burdens of fear and anxiety. Family secrets buried in our DNA. Change within is our only way back to peace. Peace in our communities, peace in our families, peace within ourselves. A major change in our thinking, in our actions, in our existence is needed. A non-negotiable change. Welcome to the revolution with Sister Talibah.
This is an injustice.
Hey, peace, everyone. Peace. Can y'all hear me? If you can hear me, please put a 1 in the chat. I see Cicero McGill. Good afternoon, family. Cicero, can you hear me? I don't see any more comments in the chat. Let's see. Uh-oh. I don't see any other comments besides Cicero. Cicero McGill. Oh, okay. I had to refresh. I'm so sorry, y'all. Listen, we gonna get through this today. It was technical difficulties, but alhamdulillah, Allah is most merciful and Allah is gracious, and that's okay. This is all a learning experience. So alhamdulillah, all praise is due to Allah. Okay. Good afternoon, Cicero. Peace to you. Peace, H-Spag. Peace, No Name. Peace, Debbie Clark. Peace, Lil Mama. Yes, y'all can hear me. Peace, I Ain't Going. Peace, Michael Behringer. Peace, Sassy Shay. Peace, sis. Peace, Reed Johnson. Kamala Buford can hear me. Debbie Clark can hear me. Kamala can hear me. Michael Behringer can hear me. Okay. Child, when I tell y'all I was fighting for my life, me and the good sis T from the D, trying to get on here. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, Marcia. Peace. I apologize for the technical difficulties. We were ready at 12 o'clock, but it just didn't work out. Me and the good sis T from the D, we was really pushing to get on here to try to work the StreamYard. Peace, Kobe Fat. Let me see. I hope I didn't miss anyone. All right. Peace to everyone that is in the chat, everyone that's watching. Give me 1 second so I can share it on my Facebook page. I hope everyone is having a good day today so far. I'm so excited. Okay. Let's see. All righty. Let's see. And let me share it. Let's see. Let's see. Let me finish sharing. I appreciate everyone for being patient with me. And even though it was a setback, it was still, I'm grateful for the experience. So I'm not even mad. I'm not upset. I'm just grateful to be here. Okay. I just shared it to my page. All right. So now that I got that out the way, thank you again for everyone that is here tuning in to the Revolution, the third episode of the Revolution. And so, I like to go over my reminders, and I want to take y'all back to the first episode of when we went over self-preservation. And the series is called Disrupting the Cycle of Trauma. So let me pull up my PowerPoint. Okay, I'm gonna stay on stage. If you can still hear me, please put a 1 in the chat, please. Marcia. Okay, Kamala, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so as a reminder, for self preservation, we went over the ways to preserve basically our sanity, to preserve our energy. So that is to prioritize and advocate for yourself first, set healthy boundaries, practice and maintain self care, meditate, sit in silence, take a shower, a bath, maintain a healthy diet, take walks, connect with nature, journal, color, listen to calming music, read books, or listen to audiobooks. Okay. And in that first episode, we also went over that there are 3 types of trauma. And the first one is acute trauma, which results from a single incident, such as a car accident. The second one is chronic trauma, which is a repeated trauma and is prolonged, such as domestic violence or some type of abuse. And then the third trauma is complex trauma, and that's exposure to varied and multiple traumatic events. And that's an example of that is ongoing war. Okay. So let's go from our second episode when we focused on how to heal from our ancestral lineage, the trauma of our ancestors. Um, we learned that ancestral trauma refers to the emotional and psychological impacts of past trauma that affect descendants, even if they didn't directly experience the trauma. And this trauma can be passed down through family lines, impacting mental and emotional well being. So examples of this that I use was the genocide of the Native Americans and indigenous Australians, the transatlantic slave trade, the European Jewish Holocaust, and even events such as Hurricane Katrina, the Flint water crisis, and COVID-19. And so we learned that this trauma leads to changes in our DNA and can cause our children to experience adverse childhood experiences. And so it causes changes in our brain and in our DNA. We also focus on some healing resources to help us heal from that ancestral trauma. So we learned about the 7th generational principle. I believe it's 5 or 7 tribes of Native Americans. And the 7th generational principle, if you remember, is the philosophy that whenever a decision is needed to be made in our community, that we think ahead 7 generations. So if we want to build a house across the street as a community, we should be thinking, okay, how would this affect our descendants 7 generations from now? Okay, so that's one thing that I would hope that we can put into practice. We also learned about the forgiveness ritual of the Babemba tribe. I hope I pronounced that tribe's name correctly. And so the forgiveness ritual is when someone in that tribe does something um, that is incorrect or causes some type of discomfort to the village or community. And all of the tribe members gather around that person that has committed the offense. And they tell that person, they remind the person the goodness that is within them. And I think that is a powerful ritual to do. And I would love to see us start to do that even within our own households. That is a powerful thing. So instead of beating someone down on what they did wrong, which is so easy to do, and then that's something that I am definitely guilty of, we should, you know, practice forgiveness, accept that error, but remind that person that they are not that error, they are not that mistake that they made. And the best way to move forward is to remind them of the good deeds that they have committed in the past, etc. We also learned about Ho'oponopono, which is an Hawaiian forgiveness ritual. And let me say that none of these rituals are connected to any type of religion or anything like that. So these rituals are literally for everyone. So the Ho'oponopono is the 4 statements saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you, I love you. And the purpose of Ho'oponopono is to take accountability for going through certain lessons. So if I have an issue with someone in my family, then my practice would be um, how I have done it in the past is I would sit, visualize that person's face, and I would say their name. So and so, I apologize. So I apologize for the energy that I put into this situation, to this negative situation. Please forgive me. I thank you. I thank you for this experience because I'm learning. It's a life lesson for me. And I love you. Okay. And then lastly, the last healing resource was getting into the practice of taking accountability in our family. Someone has to stand up and take accountability and say, you know what, these generational curses, these cultural traumas, these ancestral lineage traumas will stop with me. I will not continue to uh, participate in that trauma. And the trauma could be any number of things. It could be the way that we discipline our children, it could be the way that we talk to each other, it could be any type of dysfunction, communication, ineffective communication skills, anything of that sort. Someone in the family has to stand up and be courageous enough to say, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. All of this stops with me. I will be the one to bring healing to our family as a whole. And moving forward, our descendants will learn to be um, more healing in their nature than more offensive or be the one to cause trauma. Inshallah, God willing. So today we are talking about speaking our truth. It is important for us to speak our truth. And I chose this picture of Malcolm X, one of my favorite ancestors, because as an adolescent, when I learned about Malcolm X, I was very attracted to how free he was with his speech. I was attracted to his confidence and his bravery to speak out so bluntly and so loudly against the oppression that Black people in this country were facing at that specific time. And he did so unapologetically. And he, to me, represents like a fierceness. And it was just very empowering for me as a sixth grader. I think I was in the sixth grade when I first saw the movie Malcolm X by Spike Lee. So it had a profound effect on me and how I respond to injustice and oppression that I may experience or that others around me may experience. And so, as we go into this PowerPoint, I want to really, really ask for everyone to please listen to this presentation with an open mind. An open heart is an open mind. So please be open to a different perspective. Excuse me. In this perspective, please know that I am not a surface thinker. I like to go deep. And so I like to go to the metaphysical. I like to go to the root, but I like to deal with the soul. And I use many resources. All of my resources are not Islamic based, are not religious based. Um, any truth that I gravitate to, I am obligated to share with who all will listen. So my prayer is that everyone will be open to the different perspectives that I will present. This is a safe space for us to heal and be transparent with each other. Please be respectful. Please be respectful and please be honorable, first to yourself and then to others in the chat and that are listening. I do encourage everyone to do their own research. I am not, how do I want to say? I'm not an expert on everything that I represent. I am still a student. And that's exactly what my name means. My Islamic name, Talibah, means student or seeker of the knowledge. So I will always be a student as long as I have breath in me because I am constantly learning. And then I also encourage everyone to that whatever suggestions that I give you, please do what resonates for you. Do what resonates for your heart and your soul, what feels comfortable for you. And even if it's not comfortable, you can't always be comfortable for you to grow. But listen, you know how I like to say, sit in silence, meditate, and listen to yourself, listen to your intuition and trust yourself. So again, whatever resonates for you, please be obedient and at least try it. Okay. How's everyone doing so far? I'm just checking the chat. Yes, Winters. Yes, girl, we made it. Me and T, we both from Detroit. You know how the Detroit women do. We don't give up. We push through. Okay. All right. The queen is in the building. Good afternoon. Peace to Queen Hanifa. Peace to your family. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Khadija. This sister right here, Sister Khadija, this sister right here, alhamdulillah, she is brilliant. And she's actually a teacher. And this sister is full of knowledge. I really love her. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Wa alaikum salam, Uncle Carl. It's so good to see you in the chat. All right, I agree. Sassy Shay says, my personal opinion, the best teachers are always students first. And yes, my good sis Winters, she knows how Detroit does, okay? We don't give up. just like them D boys. Okay. All right, let's keep it moving, y'all. The chakra system. Okay. This is not taught in any of the three major Western religions, and that's okay because I'm not teaching a religion here. I'm strictly speaking about energy. Okay. We are all energy. So let's stay focused on that. We are all energy. So no one should be scared or shaking in their boots right now or thinking this is some form of witchcraft or is ungodly. No, 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 no. We're learning about the energy that is within us. So the chakra system. Chakra is a Sanskrit language that means wheel or disc. We have wheels of energy where physical and the spiritual meet. And that's sometimes referred to as the prana energy, depending on which culture um, is speaking in regards to this. And so the chakras are located in different regions of our body. And it's literally like a vortex of energy that spins and contains our psychological, our emotional, and our spiritual states of being. Ancient references, ancient cultures references in different cultures. In China, this energy is referred to as medians. I don't know if anyone in the audience has ever been to a Chinese doctor. I used to go to one when I lived in Detroit, right across in Canada, in Windsor, Canada. My granny and I used to go all the time. And their system of how they heal people is very different. Whatever ailment, regardless of whatever ailment that I was facing, that doctor, I think his name was Dr. Chung, he would feel my pulse and then ask me to open my mouth and to stick out my tongue. And whatever he saw, whatever, he could tell me exactly what was wrong with me. And I actually miss um, going to that doctor. I haven't been since in my early 20s when I was still living in Detroit. So, what is the energy of our throat? The energy of our throat is to speak and receive truth. And so that is the purpose. Our throat energy is to express our truth, which helps us in developing self awareness and confidence, as well as encourage integrity and honesty. This is our responsibility to ourselves first and to others we encounter. Honest and truthful communication, it leads to the creation of authentic and meaningful relationships. So we have a responsibility to control what we say to others and really what we say to ourselves. The Sanskrit name is Vishudha, excuse me, and its meaning means purification or cleaning. That meaning is so significant to me because it's telling me that my words and even my tone of voice should be a purification to the other person that is listening. And it should be a purification for myself as well. So that means, we all do self talk. When we put on our clothes and we look in the mirror, instead of saying, oh, I look horrible in this, or I'm too fat, or I'm too whatever that's negative, we need to purify that. And we need to really use our vocal cords and our tongue. We need to use our words to speak lovingly to us, to be gentle to our own selves and others. Other names that this energy goes by is the fifth chakra. Remember, I said that there are 7 main chakras in our bodies. The location of this energy is the front of the base of the neck, the hollow of the collarbone. The color is a light blue, and the element that it is connected to is the sound. And its affirmation is I speak. So, I'm big on affirmations. Um, if you are struggling with your voice, with expressing yourself, you can begin healing your throat energy by saying, I speak well, or I speak loving words, or I speak with confidence, etc. Okay, let's go to the next slide. The metaphysics of the energy of the throat. So again, um, our throat has a specific responsibility, and it's useful for manifesting and self-protection, depending on your words, the words that you use. It's used to express what we think, feel, see, desire, and even what we detest. It gives us the ability to define ourselves to the world. We defined ourselves, not anyone else. We defined ourselves. So we're taking our power back. The energy of our throat is known as the seat of wisdom and responsibility. There goes that word again, responsibility. We have a responsibility to ourselves to purify ourselves with our words and to purify our families, our community with our words. Um, it is of supernatural or clairvoyant importance, and we use it to be able to share specific information that we receive. So, with that, I'm speaking in regards to when we pray or when we meditate or when we dream and we receive divine information, or God is leading us or giving us a message. I've shared in the past, and I believe it was the first episode of the Revolution, that I normally receive and consistently receive messages or promptings when I make wudu or when I'm in the shower. So I'm usually in water. And let me explain, wudu is a purification process that Muslims do before we pray. So we wash our hands and rinse out our mouth, our nose, our forearms up to our elbows. We wash our our hair, go behind our ears, in our ears, behind our neck, and we wash our feet. Examples of this purification process is just not Islamic. It is also in the Old Testament, where the prophets used to wash themselves before they prayed to God. So, um, the throat chakra is also center of clear audience, clear hearing. So it goes hand in hand with us speaking. Okay. It also controls what we hear. It gives us the ability to guided writing, channeling, telepathy, etc. So guided writing is when you journal, and it's kind of like, I want to say, your higher self. I'm gonna just use that term. You write down high vibrational thoughts or what needs to come out, and it's more subconscious and not conscious. I'm really big on journaling, and I do that a lot. And I like to journal affirmations. I like to journal statements that as if they've already manifested. So I like to write down my prayers, and I write it in a sense as if it's already here. And I make sure that my emotional state is feeling as if, okay, my blessings are here. I hope that makes sense. The energy in our throat, we also use it to change our mental belief patterns. So let's go back to episode 2 of the Revolution, where we talked about the ancestral trauma. Some of us, maybe many of us, come from families where there may be a pattern of negative thinking. I can't do this, or I'm not good enough to do this, or to live abundantly is only for certain people in this world. You know what I mean? It's a limited thought pattern. So we are supposed to use our throat energy to change that pattern for the better. Okay? Break that cycle of trauma, break that family cycle of trauma. Our throat energy also helps us to create the circumstances we need to be successful in our purposes. So, again, what are you speaking to yourself and what are you speaking to others? And lastly, the throat chakra helps us with expressing our creativity. How's everyone doing so far? I'm going to check the chat and see how everyone is doing. Any questions? Any statements? Peace, Eddie Gray. Good afternoon, Sister Talibah and A10 News Media Group family. All right, Charlotte Bound. Thank you for checking in, Eddie Gray. Thank you, Kamala, for the $2 super sticker. Thank you. Peace to Beth from Dalton. Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Deborah. You know I love you, Deborah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your voice is always controlled and soothing. I just love you, Deborah. Thank you for your positivity. Uncle Carl, listen, I have banned myself from city council for the time being. Uncle Carl says, I need to try this at city council. Pray for me. Let's pray for all of us because the energy in the council chambers is overwhelming. Okay. So I'm with you, Uncle Carl. I'm taking a break right now. My last encounter with city council is a bit much. So I'm going to just chill out for a second. Let's see who else. All right. Deborah Luna gifted 1 membership to someone. I don't know who it is, but whoever received it, congratulations to you. Thank you, Deborah, for that. Sassy Shay says she's loving the lesson. Tay Tay, hey everybody, dropping in to say hope everyone stays cool and safe these next few hot days. Same to you, Tay Tay. I love you. A very strong voice in our community. I love Tay Tay. And our good sis says all gas, no brakes on this council, period. And Queen Hanifa, yes, ma'am, you know that energy in the chambers is polluted. And that is like the perfect word. Unfortunately, it is polluted. And you know firsthand, like I always tell people, is one thing to watch it on YouTube or on Facebook or however you watch it, but it's another to be in the midst of it. It's on a whole different level. Okay. Deborah Luna, Miss Savage needs our prayers as well as Josh. They were both harmed at the last meeting. I agree, Deborah. And please let us not forget about Mr. Terrence, who was violently pulled out of his vehicle. Let us keep in our thoughts and prayers Miss Debbie Clark, who was punched in the face by a cop while trying to mediate the situation at City Council, as well as Mr. Chester. And Arthur Woodson. They were all physically assaulted. And I will say this real quick before I move forward. I really want the community to focus on them. My situation, I know Winters brings it up, and I love her. I appreciate her. I feel like not that I'm not deserving of anybody's prayers or anything like that, but I was not touched. That cop wanted to touch me, but Winters blocked him. And so I'm very grateful for Winters. I'm very grateful for Winters. Me, myself, because I was not physically harmed, I'm more concerned about those that were physically assaulted. I really want the focus to stay on Mr. Terrence, Debbie Clark, Mr. Chester, um, Arthur Woodson, and Miss Savage. And she was most recently slammed and she hit her head against the wall. So please keep them in your most high vibrational thoughts and prayers. Yes, Deborah, all of our warriors, all of our warriors. Okay, so let's keep it moving. So the energy of the throat, I speak. We know that's the throat's affirmation. And so, excuse
Talibah, what you can't, we can't hear you. Oh, my bad. We can't hear you. Can you hear me now? I don't know what it is. It's something like on your end, your mic. Yeah, we can't hear you. Oh, I'm finna call you. Talibah, go to your settings where they say audio. Go check your audio because you probably knock your audio out or something. Yeah, you should go into where it say settings at. Look at go to your settings. It should be right at the bottom where it say mute, where you can show your camera. Go right to your settings and check for your audio. Or go out and come back in. Can you hear me? Go back in your settings. So, let me mute this.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was something probably with the mic or something when it connected to it. Sometimes StreamYard have a hard time
Okay.
recognizing it.
So I'm gonna put this microphone to the side, y'all. I apologize for that. So we're gonna keep it moving. What was the last thing you guys heard me talk about? Did y'all hear me talk about the characteristics of a balanced throat energy? Okay. All right. So y'all heard me talk about the balanced throat energy. So I'm gonna go right into oh, you said no, Sassy? Okay. I'll just read it real quick. I won't a lot of people are saying yes, but for Sassy, I'll read it to you. When we have oh, you meant yes. Okay. All right. Alhamdulillah. So I'm gonna keep it pushing. And we're going to talk about when our throat energy is stagnant and what characteristics that comes up for us. So when we find that we're indecisive, can I say no or yes to someone or to a certain situation? We have difficulty speaking our truth. We feel silenced by others, or we are silenced by others. A lot of us experience that, especially as children. We feel shut down, like our thoughts and our emotions and our opinions do not matter. We are not in alignment with who we are, and we're definitely not in a creative space. We are fearful of being judged when expressing ourselves. And then we oftentimes become addicted with oral fixation. So that may mean that we need to like stuff our face with cookies, with something sweet. I call that emotional eating. So we may get the urge to like chew on something or have some type of movement in our mouth, if that makes sense. But I think that I know for some of these, I have definitely experienced, if not all of them. So we have to be mindful again of what we went through as children, because a lot of our traumas come from childhood. That generational curse, that generational pathology, and that feeling silence, and not being able to express ourselves in our relationships, whether that be intimate, professional, personal, etc. And then being fearful of being judged when we do express ourselves. So when I say something to you, when I express how I feel, are you going to shut me down? Are you going to tell me I'm not making sense? Are you going to tell me that what I'm saying and what I'm telling you and how I'm feeling is stupid, is inferior? You know, it doesn't mean anything, etc.
So that's when we have a stagnant throat energy. Okay, I'm gonna answer your question, Sassy. I'm gonna actually pull it up. If y'all hear my children, just act like you don't. Okay, I'm trying to pull my PowerPoint back up. Okay. Okay, let me try it like this. Okay, boom. Your girl is getting the hang of this. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about an overactive throat energy before I answer Sassy's question. So when our throat energy is overactive, we will experience being very opinionated, maybe excessively loud, very critical of others, always gossiping about other people. We yell a lot, talk over others, use harsh or profane words, and we are liars. So, this is a very uh, interesting this is very interesting to have an overactive throat energy. I think that the danger in it is that we may feel empowered because we're expressing ourselves, when in actuality, we're using our words to harm others. We're actually bringing harm to other people and to ourselves. When we're overly opinionated, we may believe that our opinion matters and others' opinions do not matter. Okay. That being excessively critical, always judging other people, the using the harsh words, even the tone of our voice can be offensive. And sometimes we may not be aware of it, but we should work on becoming aware of it. And telling lies, you're going against what really essentially what your throat and your tongue was created for. Remember that the Sanskrit name for the throat chakra means purification or cleaning. And so if your words are not purifying yourself or others or space, then you're going against what it is meant for. Okay, you're becoming irresponsible with what you were blessed with, if that makes sense. Let me go to Sassy Shay. Can that show up in speech patterns? I believe so. I think like this. Not everyone else thinks like this. When I read your question, Sassy Shay, I think about speech impediments. I know in my family, I didn't grow up with a speech impediment, but my brother did, my younger brother did. And it was kind of ironic, but I was the only one that could interpret what he was saying. And it literally sounded like, and this was like when he was like 2 years old, it sounded like gibberish. And I hope me using that word gibberish is not offensive. I feel like that is connected to a slur in regards to a specific language. So I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to anyone's culture. But you could not make out what he was saying. It was just a bunch of sounds that were not clear. And his speech turned around when he went to Head Start and he received speech therapy through Head Start. I do have a son that has a speech impediment as well, and he's come a long way. He used to stutter when he was around the same age, 2, 3 years old. And they, meaning like his pre-K teachers, tried to normalize it, but I didn't let that get too far. And my husband and I got him therapy both within the school system and privately. We had to go through his doctor to get him therapy privately. So he no longer has a stutter. He may stutter when he's overwhelmed with emotion, like if he's super excited about something. But now he still has a speech impediment. It's called a clutter speech. And he'll talk when he expresses himself, he talks really fast, and we have to tell him, slow down, because he is naturally in his a high energy child. He has to move his body all the time. And when he expresses himself, it's like a rush. So yeah, I think that I wonder, and I'm gonna go even deeper, Sassy Shay. I think to like, okay, what was going on when I was pregnant with him, when he was in my womb? Whatever emotions or whatever traumas or whatever I was going through emotionally, did that affect him in some type of way with his speech? You know what I mean? So I hope I'm answering your question. I hope that's making sense to everyone that's listening to me. Peace, Maria Carter. Thank you for coming in. Let me check the chat and see. I appreciate everyone being patient. Maria Carter, let's see what she says. I curse and find that allowing others to be their genuine selves helps in building a rapport with my clients. Yes. I believe I'm at the stage in my life where even if I do not like a person, I accept them for who they are. And I accept them however they are. It's not my responsibility to change anyone. I just accept them for who they are. And I choose whether or not, if I want to be around them or not. I think we're talking about the same thing. Let's go with Deborah Luna. Stuttering is thought to be connected to sexual abuse. I've heard of that. What's the actress name? I can't think of her name, but I could see her face. A Black woman actress. But I don't think she stuttered. She just went silent. And I could see her. I think she's the one that played Foxy Brown, like back in the 70s. Very beautiful woman. I can't think of her name, but she had an experience with sexual abuse. And I think she just went nonverbal. And then I think it was her grandfather that noticed it and started having her be around horses, took her to a farm, and like that animal therapy helped her reclaim her voice. So I've definitely heard of that about stuttering as well. Pam Greer, yes, little mama. Thank you so much. Okay. Sassy Shay. Oh wow, yes, I didn't think that far. Yes, it makes sense. Peace to Tony Terry. Pam Greer, thank y'all. Sheba baby. Peace, Jeff Johnson. How are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you everyone for your patience. Okay, so I am going to move on. Let's see where I'm at. Okay, I'm getting close to introducing our special guest, y'all. I'm almost done with the meat and potatoes of this presentation. So let's go to the physical effects of your daily speech. So your throat has your thyroid, of course, your throat, your neck vertebrae, mouth, teeth, and gums, esophagus, tonsils, etc. And so I am one to believe that whatever you're dealing with spiritually, metaphysically, emotionally, mentally will affect your physical body. And remember, going back to the definition of the chakra, when we laid out, like, I guess you want to say, like the main, like the foundation of the chakra, um, that energy vortex, that's where all of those energies meet. And so if it's not fully balanced, if you're dealing with something emotionally, it will affect your physical. And so the physical dysfunctions that we may see is having a raspy or sore throat, mouth ulcers, gum difficulties, TMJ, stiff neck, scoliosis, swollen glands, thyroid problems, and even like cancer in the throat. Um, in my eyes, how I think, um, I believe that is also connected to if something is off spiritually or metaphysically or emotionally. And so, real quick, I'm going to read from You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. If you have never heard of Louise Hay, please Google her or look up her affirmations. She has a lot of like audio on YouTube. She has passed in recent years, but a very powerful woman that healed herself through affirmations. So in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, she states that the throat represents our ability to speak up for ourselves, to ask what we want, to say, I am, etc. When we have throat problems, it usually means we do not feel we have the right to do these things. We feel inadequate to stand up for ourselves. Sore throats are always anger. If a cold is involved, then there is mental confusion too. Laryngitis usually means you are so angry you cannot speak. The throat also represents the creative flow in the body. This is where we express our creativity. And when our creativity is stifled and frustrated, we often have throat problems. We all know many people who live their whole lives for others. They never once get to do what they really want to do. They are always trying to please mothers, fathers, spouses, lovers, bosses. Tonsillitis and thyroid problems are also frustrated creativity, resulting from not being able to do what you want to do. The energy center in the throat, the fifth chakra, is the place in the body where change takes place. When we are resisting change or are in the middle of change or are trying to change, we often have a lot of activity in our throats. Notice when you cough or when someone else coughs, what has just been said? What are we reacting to? Is it resistance and stubbornness? Or is it the process of change taking place? In a workshop, I use coughs as a tool for self discovery. Every time someone coughs, I have that person touch their throat and say out loud, I am willing to change, or I am changing. Okay. So I thought that was very powerful. I absolutely love Louise Hayes. I have used her affirmations, but not consistently. And that's the other thing. I think I talked about this prior, is that whenever we make change in our lives, we decide to change, we need to be consistent with it, or else it's not going to work. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. Either you going to change or you're not. Don't play with it. Don't waste your time. Okay. So let's move forward and let's talk about our special guest, my dear sister, T from the D, y'all. Everybody know T from the D, from the bump, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. T from the D is a beautiful sister. She is a sister that has a heart of gold, and I love her dearly. Let me just read to you her background before I bring her up. She is born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. She is a supportive daughter, sister, aunt, and friend, and a positive influence for her nieces and nephews. She's an influential high school basketball player, highlighted in an article in the Detroit News in 1993-1994 school year. She was awarded a scholarship at Florida A&M University in 1996. She was also awarded her CDL certification in 2011. She is passionate about speaking out against injustices and very proactive with raising community awareness. T from the D is an active supporter of the Race for the Cure, American Cancer Society, the MLK League, Truckers Against Trafficking, and the ongoing Flint water crisis. T from the D's life goals include providing permanent housing for homeless veterans in loving memory of her father, who was a veteran. She would like to become a private detective in the criminal justice field, and she would like to start a girls' youth basketball team league. I chose to have T from the D on as a guest because I believe that she was put into my life to help me speak out specifically for myself on a more personal level. I can easily speak out for others. That's part of my professional job. But sometimes I find that I swallow a lot of things when it comes to personal relationships. And so she has fully demonstrated how not to do this. She does not believe in swallowing your emotions and your feelings. If she got something to say, she don't like something, she need to correct you, she gonna do it immediately. She not gonna sleep on it. She gonna do it immediately. And that's why I love this sister. And I really am thankful for her. I'm grateful for her. So let me pull her up. And this gonna go correctly, y'all. Now,
Hello.
the audio is
Assalamu alaikum.
working.
Peace. Hey,
Yes.
sis.
Peace.
Made it. We made
Alhamdulillah.
it. Hey, A10 family.
Peace, peace,
Can you
peace.
hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound wonderful. Can everyone in the chat hear T from the D? I think they are excited to see you.
Woo,
Yes,
child. We
everyone is
got through it,
saying,
didn't we?
man, we was fighting for our lives, okay? Two Detroit sisters. We was windmilling. We was windmilling StreamYard. Yes.
Well said.
Peace.
Well said.
Peace,
Hey,
John.
everybody. I can't see the chat.
That's okay. Everyone is saying, hold on, let me back up. Yep. Winters, that's my sister.
Hey, sis.
Yes.
What up, though?
What up, John Snow, Big Bro Snow?
Hey, Snow.
My people down here, I'm good, little mama. Okay, he responded to little mama. He's saying salute, no name, sending you love.
Hey, no
John,
name. Hey, little mama.
John Snow said T from the D. That's my dog. Yes. Yes, little mama say yes, Taz, you go,
Hey,
girl.
sis.
Deborah Luna.
Hey,
Yes,
Deborah
Taz, you
Luna.
go. Oh, that's not Taz. I mean, that's not Deborah Luna. Uncle Carl said, what up, T from the D?
Rigmarole. Hey, Uncle Carl.
Maria Carter said, hey, T.
Hey, Maria.
Yes, Lawana Terry Peace. She says,
Hey,
good
sis.
afternoon.
Love y'all.
Yes, everyone is showing you love. Kawana Mack is here.
What's up, Tawana?
Yes,
Salute.
full advocate. Hey,
Yes.
Mr. Talibah T from the D and chat family.
The
Peace to
singing
Kawana Mack.
advocate.
Yes, our singing advocate and student council.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, and Kamala, she says, hello, T from the D. Everyone is showing T from the D love,
Hey,
including
Kamala.
Debbie Clark. Hey, T from the D,
Hey,
love you,
Debbie.
sister. All right. All right. Let me take that off. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, um, T from the D is a dear friend of mine, and she naturally is an excellent communicator. She tells you how she feels, and she's very fair. Um, and she's gentle. She can be very firm when she has to be, but T from the D is a friend that we all need in our life because she is one that will hold you accountable for your actions and for your words. And a lot of people don't like to be held accountable. I think many of us feel like our friends are just supposed to support us and root us on. But we all need friends and companions that will check us and, check us with love when we are in error. And that is true friendship when someone pulls you to the side and say, you need to correct that, that was disrespectful, etc. So, T from the D, have you always been like this, or did you have to work on being how you are now?
I had to work on it. Let's see. Going back, we'll go back to middle school, high school. I was kind of shy, quiet at first,
Mm-hmm.
but in my young adulthood, I learned to speak out more and not let things slide. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So it was probably around that time I started being more vocal and opinionated. I get that from my dad. Rest his soul. Yeah, my dad was very outspoken. Um, he didn't care who it offended, how he felt. But I think that's who I get it from. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Was there a specific experience during that time that forced you to be, outspoken, to force you to, it sounds like, to advocate for yourself, essentially? Was there a specific
Oh,
experience you went
yeah.
through?
I didn't do well with bullies.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can start there. If you want more current events,
Mhm.
I think the Rodney King um event and the tragedy and the Malice Green in Detroit, the police beating is when I
Oh my
started
God.
waking up.
Do you know I forgot about that Malice Green event, that police brutality event in Detroit? And now when you said his name, it's like I can see his face.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man.
to see our people mistreated like that triggered something in me inside of me. Yeah, I would have to
Yeah.
say those two stood out. Malice Green and Rodney King, and also the young lady in California who was murdered for purchasing orange juice. Remember, Sister Talibah? I don't know.
Uh,
That was before the Rodney King incident. I think they were rioting, protesting.
okay, and she was 14. Was she a
I
teenager?
think she was in high school. Yeah.
And it was a Asian woman, a Asian
Yes.
store owner that shot her in the head. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say those three kind of trigger me in at a young age.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. And so now we see that you are very active in Flint. And
Yes,
I meet you. Well, I think all of us can say, okay, it was the late Councilman Eric Mays that brought us all together, right?
absolutely. I got the shirt on. Can y'all see him?
Yep.
That's my guy. Rest his soul.
And you know what? That it just clicked for me that we're talking about speak your truth because Mr. Eric Mays was known for speaking his truth
Yes.
unapologetically.
Yes.
So, and he said what needed to be said. And maybe that was part of his mission here, was to demonstrate how to, stand up for yourself, how to use your voice and tell the truth.
Hmm.
He definitely was, I want to say, punished for that, or
I gotta
criticized.
turn the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, all that waiting I did.
Yeah, but I think that that's funny that you have on his shirt right now. So I didn't even think about that.
Hmm.
How Eric Mays, his advocacy, he definitely, maybe he didn't have, I'm gonna say maybe he didn't have any throat chakra issues. Maybe it could be
Right.
overactive a little bit.
Right. I think it's a little Councilman Mays and all of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He
So
wasn't he wasn't afraid.
no,
Yeah.
nah, he wasn't afraid. And that's just the main thing that I will always appreciate about Mr. Mays, is that he was fearless in telling the truth about what was
Right.
going on in the city, and
Exactly.
calling a thing and calling a spade a spade. Um, Now, since you've been active in Flint, I know you've come up here to help out with the seniors at the Hasselbrink. You helped them move into their new place.
Yes.
Um, More recently, you were physically present for the peaceful march
Hmm.
um, that Jedediah Brown initiated, that he organized. Um, Tell me about your experience with that day. Did you use your voice um, during that peaceful march?
I just was walking along with like everybody else.
Mhm.
It it was a beautiful day. It started out good, and then you know the rest. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we saw
I
how
was
it
just
ended.
I was just walking, holding up the sign.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Then chaos at the end.
Hmm.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was walking, holding the sign in one hand and recording with the other one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, you've been to the city council meetings?
Yes, I have.
Okay, were you ever a speaker doing public speaking?
No, no, I never was a public speaker. Just kind of sat in the audience.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, why haven't you been a public speaker?
I really can't give you a answer. I never signed up to speak. I was just mainly there for support.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you follow your intuition when you need to speak? When, like, how does that look for you is my question. Usually when I feel the urge to speak, I feel a fire in my stomach. And it's way down in my gut.
Hmm.
And it's like a hotness I feel, where I know I'm being led to speak out against an injustice or to advocate for an issue. That's what usually leads me to going to city council.
Well,
So
if I
how?
was to attend a meeting now, I would
Mhm,
probably sign up to speak because by the recent events, I was triggered. So that
mhm.
fire that you speak of, that would, yeah, most definitely lead me to the podium. Yeah.
Okay. So even outside of city council, even outside of like community events, in your personal life, what leads you or what prompts you to speak out against an injustice, or when you see someone in your personal life making an error, what leads you and gives you the strength and the courage to speak out?
Um, well, I feel like everybody's voice should be heard, regardless if it's against a family member, political. I don't believe in staying silent, because if you stay silent, what if Malcolm X stayed silent? What if
Mhm.
Dick Gregory stayed silent?
Mhm.
So I don't believe in staying silent. Um, so that could
Mhm.
encourage somebody else when you speak out. So,
Okay.
because a lot of people tend to not speak out.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
So let me ask you this. I have an interesting question for you. How do you handle how do you handle someone that you are around that is hesitant about speaking out, that maybe struggles with standing up for themselves? Do you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you have to stand up for them? Or do
I
you
would, I would
encourage?
first, I would try to encourage them to
There you
speak
go.
out. Um,
Mhm.
if that doesn't work, if they have to speak up at an event or something, I would stand with the person. But behind the scenes, I would just keep encouraging. When you're ready, you're ready. If you're not, you're not. So
Mhm.
I would just keep encouraging, people to speak up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everybody don't have the same mindset, or you have people that are shy, but I mean, all you could do is just keep putting in the positive word, and encouraging them.
Mhm.
It gets easier,
Mhm.
like you said
Yeah.
about that fire. You have to find the motivation.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. And what I find out, like personally, even when I have that fire, I feel that fire within my gut, I still may feel like a nervousness. I still may get like a little sweaty, but I'm committed to that fire. So that fear might be trying to like settle in,
Hmm.
but that fire won't let me swallow it.
You
It
go
the
off the adrenaline.
man, my heart,
Yeah.
you know, I've
I think
experienced
that's
it.
when those are signs that you should speak out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I that's when I have to fight against the fear. And it's like you can't deny that energy. You can't deny that fire. At least I can't. Or I know it, like if I do swallow something, I'm gonna go home and regret it. Or I'm gonna regret it later.
You,
Um and it takes a lot of courage to speak up for yourself.
it
Um
does.
a lot of courage to speak out for like a huge community issue. And it takes a lot of courage to show up for other people. That's not something that's easily done because in a way it's like you're confronting. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it can be taken like you being aggressive or assertive. It could be flipped like that, but when you're speaking out against injustice, it's needed. And, I encourage anybody that even, I like that quote that's saying that says, even if your voice shakes, you should speak out. You
Right.
should still push past it and speak out.
Yeah. And I admire your outspokenness. When you go up to that podium, I know you're going to say a good word for the residents. So I admire you, and you never look nervous.
Child.
You never look nervous. You just let it all, you put it all out on the floor.
Well, yeah, it's like once you get going, it's like the fire leads you. This is just my experience, but like that first, when people remind me of that first speech I made at City Council, the Willow Tree speech,
Hmm.
it's like when I was sitting there, I was so mad they was trying to kick Miss Billy off of the ENA board. And I tell you that night, the night before the council meeting, I wrote out my speech and I practiced it. That was the only time I ever practiced that for like city council.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got in that seat after work, I was like, why did I sign up to say this? Like I started taking my boots in my seat. But I was like, no, it's the injustice because I admire Miss Billy.
Right.
Miss Billy has a strong voice
Yes, she
and
does.
yeah, she's fair minded. And that is something that is needed for the ENA board because we don't have that. And
Right.
yes, she's in the minority. That's what I really liked about her and Miss Carol when
Mm-hmm.
they were on the board together because they had each other's back, but you could count on both of them to speak out against the injustice that Flint residents were
Mm-hmm.
facing.
Those are two good examples. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what else do you want to share with us? What do you want to share with those of us in the chat, in the audience, those that will watch the replay about what is important to you about speaking out? What
Um,
is, go
as
ahead.
far as the injustices, I just want to keep encouraging the Flint residents. Don't give up. Keep speaking out. Don't get discouraged. You know,
Hmm.
your voice is all you have sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
and the fact that certain council members are trying to silence the residents, that's just terrible.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, but the Flint residents are y'all like my family now. All that's missing is the address, the residency.
Yeah. Like you asked me, when you gonna move to Flint? That's how
I
much
don't
you
know,
love
sis.
there.
I don't know. I pray on that one.
Yeah, Flint needs some more Detroit energy up here. I
Right?
love Flint though. I really
Yeah.
do.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's like my second home.
Yes. Yes. And everybody know T from the D. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm mainly behind. I like working behind the scenes. I don't
Hmm.
really like being in the spotlight. I like working, helping, supporting behind the scenes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that's yeah. I can't think of anything else. Just
Hmm.
I'm here. You know,
Yeah.
I'm here for Flint. However I can help.
Well, we need your energy because, like I said before, you're very balanced. In my opinion, you have a balanced throat chakra. You know when to be silent and you know when to listen. That's another thing that I admire about you is that when it comes to different perspectives in a group conversation, different opinions, you always sit back and listen to both sides. And then you draw your own conclusion. You still maintain your opinion peacefully, and still show respect to other people that differ from you. And you're very balanced and very fair.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and that's what I really love about you. And you always, always, always are consistently open to hearing uh, another person's side. And that's why I just really believe that it was um, like a it was from God, right? It was from Allah for you and I to cross paths because
Absolutely. Yeah.
you have really helped me with expressing myself, in my personal life and even professionally. Even I got that down pat.
Yeah. Yes, you
You know,
do. Yeah.
I've been more expressive professionally too. So I know they like, Lord have mercy, but it's needed.
Yeah.
So
And let me
um,
say, I love that the people closest to me, my close in my circle, hold me accountable as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so that circle would be the Discord Coalition. We're a
Shout
tight
out
knit
to the
family.
Discord Coalition. Y'all know who y'all are.
Yep, we're a tight-knit family, and we are big on accountability, and we are big on holding each other responsible for being righteous. We all know we're going to make mistakes. We're going to say some things that we shouldn't have said, but we're going to correct each other always, and we're not going to sleep on it. We gonna check each other the minute it happens.
You're
And
not
when
supposed to go to bed mad.
That's right. So when I say check, I mean that, I mean that respectfully, not in a vile manner.
Mhm.
But no, we gonna check each other and say, nah, what you said wasn't right. That was incorrect. What you did wasn't correct.
Right.
So I'm very grateful to have a group of friends where I could really say that we have each other back. We uphold each other to be righteous as best
Amen.
as we can. So yeah. So that type of voice, that type of speaking out is needed.
Yeah.
Um, because it's needed across the board. And even with the example of Flint, like this could be for any community. But since we're Michigan based and Flint based, that should be the example that we see even our city council with our government officials. And that should be the example of our community activists. And a lot of times you don't see that. You don't see that on other people's platforms.
Right.
You don't see that on people's lives, that where they claim to, have to be invested into the uplifting and elevation of our community. So I really appreciate you. Did
I
you have anything
appreciate you
else
too,
to
man.
add to the conversation at this time?
No, not that I can think of. But thank you for having me on. I'll answer some questions from the chat if they have questions. But right now I can't think of anything.
Okay, so I'm gonna go and finish up the last part of this live. This presentation is about the healing resources. So I'm gonna keep you. I think I can add. Yep, I'll keep you on,
Okay.
and I'm going to go ahead and go to the first healing resource, and that's where we can affirm ourselves first. So, Book of Proverbs 18:21, the tongue has the power of life and death. So, when we're talking to ourselves, when we're doing that self talk, we need to always remember to affirm the positive about ourselves and what we want in our lives. So, when we say, I am, that statement, I am, we should follow it up with the following words should be, excuse me, y'all. Our following words should be uplifting, abundant, and loving. And we should also have healthy boundaries with those around us. So do not allow anyone to speak poverty into our lives. Correct them immediately. So, what I mean by that is if something happens to us and someone is around us that say, poor you or poor so and so, the way I grew up, we don't say poor such and such or poor baby. No, 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 no. Don't say that. You know what I mean? Don't
Mm.
allow anyone, as soon as you catch it, you should correct it. Even within yourself, don't say, I'm broke. Speak abundantly into your life, even if you have only $1 in your pocket. Wealth is not just monetary. Uh, wealth is your soul. Wealth is the knowledge that you have. Wealth is your mannerisms. Wealth is how you carry yourself. Wealth is your family, a good family, a loving family. Wealth is love, and love is wealth. So, wealth is deeper than what this society teaches us. It's more than money. So, we should really get into the habit of affirming that I am confident, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am brave. Um, I speak, um, I speak peace into my life. I speak blessings into my life. I speak with confidence. I speak with courage. I speak out for other people, um, etc. Did anyone have anything to say about that? I see a lot of people agreeing. Yes, John. Wealth is a lifestyle. Wealth is priceless. And Lil Mama said, I definitely need to get better with speaking my I ams. We all do, honey. We all can do better. And that's the truth. So let's move on to addressing our families because, the revolution is about a major change within ourselves, within our families, and with our communities. And so, just for a little motivation and encouragement, the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. With our family and with our children, we should be speaking life into each other. We should be a reminder to our family how good they are, how much we love them. Like I said, it's so easy to critique each other, but let's give love to our family members, especially our babies. Be an example. Demonstrate to your family about affirming the good in self and each other. Create boundaries. Correct any disrespectful or dishonorable speech immediately. So I'll use my children as an example. I have 4 boys in the house. And when they start to bicker, it's shut up. It's Lord, I don't even want to say. T from the D has heard something.
Yes. Yes. You have amazing kids.
Thank you. And
Yes.
when they clash, it's an all-out war.
Ooh, yes. Miss Mr. Talib. Oh boy.
Yes, the youngest Talib is he's 5, and he is quick to tell his older brothers that they don't get any girls. I'm like, what a 5-year-old know about someone getting girls?
Right. That part.
But he goes straight for that egotistical blow. That's why you don't get any girls. I'm like, oh my God. But I stay on them about not telling each other to shut up, to not say, you're ugly or, things of that. Don't cut each other down. Lift
Right.
each other up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Listen to each other intently. So with my children, especially I noticed that I have to do this with my son Zaid. Zaid is 10 years old and he's my son that has the speech impediment. So I need to look at him, and I practice this with everyone, but I really started with him. Look and get on his level. So I have to bend down a little bit and do eye to eye contact and give him my full attention. So um, that's what I encourage, because once your child sees that they have your full attention, then they're going to tell you, they're going to express everything that they need to tell you, and then they also feel validated because they have all of your attention. Do not overtalk each other and give everyone a voice in the household. So I forgot to ask my husband about this thing that we do Islamically. We haven't done it in some time, but my goal is for us to do it consistently. And it's an Arabic word. I think it's like mashura, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's when the family sits down in a circle and whatever issues, whatever anything anyone needs to say or express, if anyone in the household wants to advocate for change, like maybe switching chores or advocating for a different bedtime or whatever it may be, right? They have an opportunity to sit in a group setting and to talk about it as a collective. I think that's also healing for a family to do. Another thing that I would like to suggest is that growing up with my mom used to make me and my younger brother stand in the mirror and say, I am positive, I am affirmations. We didn't do that consistently, but she did it enough to where it still sticks with me, right? So before we would go to school, we would have to look in the mirror and say, I am intelligent. I am this. I am that. All positive things. That's how we would start our day. So that's another healing resource that we can do with our family, a healing practice. Okay. The last healing resource for this presentation is a reminder for us to stand firm for community justice. And so I chose these two verses from the Quran that reminds me to stand up for justice, to speak on behalf of others, which I do as a social worker. But even when I'm not on the clock, and if I see something go down in the store, or um, when I show up for city council, I really am speaking for the community. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The Quran says, O you who believe, stand firmly for justice as witnesses to God, even if against yourselves or your parents or your relatives. Whether one is rich or poor, God takes care of both. So do not follow your desires lest you swerve. If you deviate or turn away, then God is aware of what you do. That's like one of my favorite verses. Even if it's against yourself, your parents, or your relatives, you're obligated to stand up and to speak out against injustice. And so the following verse, O you who believe, be upright to God when seen with justice, and let not the hatred of a certain people prevent you from acting justly. Adhere to justice, for that is nearer to piety and fear God. God is informed of what you do. So even if you see someone that you particularly don't care for, but you see that they're in a state of oppression, why not stand up for them as well? An injustice is an injustice. So these two ayats or two verses from the Quran encourage me to be upright and to speak out. Right is right and wrong is wrong, regardless of who is dealing with it. And so, to go along with the community advocacy and standing firm for community justice, for the Flint community, I have provided some resources. As we all know, for those of us in Flint and outside of Flint in Michigan, and you've been paying attention, you've been seeing the increase incidents of police brutality. So if you don't know, Ms. Deborah Clark, I'm gonna just use her as an example. I hope she don't mind. After being punched by the officer, the Flint Police Department would not take her complaint. So she had to go above and beyond, right, to advocate for herself. And so that's why I provided the information for all of us to use in regards to the situations that we are seeing with the police being weaponized against us. And that's calling the ACLU of Michigan, the FBI, they have a Detroit office, making a complaint with the Michigan Department of Civil Rights, as well as the Michigan Attorney General's Office. And lastly, Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards. They specifically don't have a phone number that I'm aware of, but they have several email addresses for us to utilize whenever we see that there's an officer that is not being ethical. So, to my, I'm sorry, T from the D, did you want to say anything about that? Anything else about the
Um,
resources?
about the resources.
Yeah.
Well, for me, uh, I go to church and you know to get that's where my strength come from,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much I meditate when I have time. I meditate. No, that's pretty much it. Um, I'm inspired by others too.
Yeah.
Yeah, by other community leaders. So
Okay. I know you really have a liking to Kawana Matt.
yes, yes,
Because she
yes.
always shows
That's
up.
that
Yeah.
sister bring the fire every time. She get them right together. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. We all have a voice,
yes,
and we have to use it. It's and especially in times like these. It's no time to be silent.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, you can't see this comment by Marcia Talbert. Peace,
Hey,
Marcia.
Marcia.
She says, like how Mickey went to save art on June 2nd. That's an excellent,
That's a
excellent,
great example.
excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Not
Yes.
the not the best of friends, but the brother Mick saw that he was in trouble and went to help him.
Stood in the gap.
Yep, stood in the gap. Sassy Shay, Sister Talibah, can you post the last slide in the reboot page? Yes, ma'am. I'll do that after the show. No Name says T from the D, you really are an inspiration. And Marcia says T from the D is the truth.
Thank y'all. Thank you, little brother.
So I'll put up the phone number in case anyone wants to call in. And I appreciate everyone for being so patient with me.
Yes.
This is my first time
Amen.
doing this by
Thank
myself.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank
bringing
you.
me on, Sister Talibah.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for being you.
That's the only way I know how to be.
Yeah. Were there any questions in the chat? Let me go back to the comments. The number is on the screen, 810-371-5812 to call in. That's okay, Felicia Martinez. You're never late. Divine timing. You can always go back and listen to the or watch the replay as well.
Hi, Felicia.
Okay, so I'll give y'all a few more minutes to see if anyone wants to call in, if anyone has any questions for T from the D, or any questions for me, or any suggestions. Okay, we got a caller.
All right.
Okay, let me put you on speaker, caller. Thank you for calling in to the Revolution. This is Sister Talibah speaking. How can I help you?
Yo, Snowman.
Hey, Snow, what up?
Yeah, I was gonna call in. What's up, T?
What's up, Snow? How you doing?
Man, hey, I'm alright. I almost missed you. I almost missed Sister Talibah. I was doing some other stuff. When I looked up, it was like 1:45. Let me hear him, I got down at the time though, right before you brought T on. I just want to tell you to keep going, man. I love your platform. I love what you're doing. Keep going. I mean, it's very educational. You lay it all out. I love your PowerPoints and everything. You know what I'm saying? You bring up the valid points, and I want to speak on this thing. Like I was saying about the all this stuff going on in the planet, man. I just think I don't know what to say though, really about it, but I'm just gonna say this right. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm tired, man. The whole community tired, man. All the residents tired of everything that's going on. And you are correct when you told them about the resources. We got to bypass Genesee County. We got to bypass anything got to do with Clinton, Genesee County to get results.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to shout out all the victims. I'm gonna call them victims. The last 4 weeks, Mr. T. I don't know the lady name that got pulled out of the car in front of him.
Oh yeah.
Miss Savage, Justin, but whoever else I'm forgetting, whoever been victims of all this bull, man. You know what I mean? And but it's one thing, so two things, it's something Flint strong, and we just gotta stick together. And I just think everybody just needs to keep on, put all our differences to the side and move forward. And if I can put my differences aside, because I'm a stubborn old guy, I'm willing to do. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to do whatever we got to do to unite the city and get our justice for everybody, not just one person, the whole city.
Yes.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, you keep doing what you're doing, sister, and keep on the deep. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you, Snow. You keep doing what you're doing too.
You can't shoot no wicked jump shot. But man, oh yeah, the coalition. Y'all rock, man. Y'all the coalition, y'all all rock, man. And man, it's Snow, man. Northside Plymouth, I'm out, man.
All right, Snow.
We love you.
Yo, peace.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah. Everybody got to come together for the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
Unify. That's the only way we're going to beat this beast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I appreciate how Winters came out as a community activist, a new community activist. And so far she's standing on her word. You know, it's peace across the board. The real
on business.
Yeah, stand on business.
Yeah.
So either you for righteousness or you not. So put the pettiness to the side and focus on getting the work done. And that's it.
Yeah, serious business. You're talking about people's lives here.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So if we don't have any other phone callers, I guess I'll end the show. And so I'm gonna start to end the show. And I want to say thank you to everyone that was like super patient with me and T from the D today.
Thank you.
We started off rough, but it was okay. You know,
we got through it.
Yeah, we got through it. It was nothing to be mad about. We just couldn't figure out how to get T, up on the screen and the audio. And then in the middle of it, in the middle of the show, of course, my audio went out. And I'm so grateful for Mickey for helping me out with that.
Shout out to Mick, Space Rocket.
What up,
810? What up, 810 News Media Group in the house?
Yes. Yeah. So,
Sister Talibah, they don't know how we met.
What you mean?
Wasn't during the recall, Liddell's recall?
Yes. Yes, we were helping.
Middle of whatever street that was in the second ward.
Yeah, in the second ward, we was helping Miss Bev.
Mm-hmm. I felt like I already knew you.
Yeah, right. Because you was like, you Sister Talibah. I'm like, of course. There's nobody else that looks like me out here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but we was working hard that day. That was last summer.
Yeah, it was hot that day too.
Yeah, going door to door, getting signatures, helping Miss Bev, me, you, and Baby Doll. And I can't remember. It might have been Miss Shirley.
Yeah, Miss Shirley was there too.
Yeah, Miss Shirley's always there. Yeah. She is such a blessing. So,
yeah.
Okay. T from the D.
Thanks for having me on once again. Love y'all, A10
Yeah.
family.
Thank you for everyone tuning in. I love everyone. I believe Winter said to stay tuned. I think, Winter said stay tuned
Uh-oh.
to 8:10 today at 5 o'clock. I don't know
Uh-oh.
who's coming on at 5 o'clock, what's going on, but we're going to look forward to that.
All
Our
right
good
now.
friend always comes with good information. Miss Winters Hall, our new community activist, so very proud of my sister. I love her dearly.
Proud
Thank
of
you for
her.
everyone coming in. Miss Carol Kincaid,
Hey, Miss
Deborah
Carol.
Luna,
Deborah Luna.
Kawana,
Kawana.
Cecile McGill, you've been here since the beginning.
Cicero.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Award for the most patience.
Yes, right. All right. I love everyone. I'll see everyone next week, Sunday at 12 noon. May we all have a peaceful and safe week. I love you all. Peace.
Peace.